Yeah, sharing my screen, friends. Just confirm if you are able to see my screen. Okay. So yesterday we had a very detailed discussion on slicing. It was a very useful session, I believe, and it is needed when you are working in any project. That's okay. So let me just scroll it down. So that, I think these are the examples we did yesterday. Also, where is PyCharm? These were few of the scenarios we covered, almost some 7 or 8 scenarios we covered until, of course, 10 to 11 scenarios we covered yesterday. And this should be fine for us. This is enough for us to understand what is that, to understand slicing, to implement slicing. Got it right? So that is the simple idea here. Next one, today what we do is we try to discuss on methods of string class and how to apply all those methods. So the topic is methods of string class. This is very important for us, okay? And after that, we do a few more very important use cases. You can work on all them, okay? Let's see methods of string class. For this, you don't need to go and check anywhere. I'll just tell you a simple shortcut how to check for all methods present in any built-in class in Python. Okay, simply go to PyCharm. If you are using PyCharm or any sophisticated IDE, okay, right. So in these kind of IDEs, you have IntelliSense. Using that IntelliSense, you can easily identify what what all methods that are there in a Python class. Okay. So what you do is I will add one more program here. We have already done a slicing. I'll just leave it like that. Now let me add one program here. New Python file string methods test. Okay, one by one we discuss. Now you see here, just declare a simple string, something like anything like apple or something. Now, when you say s1 dot, see if you want to check methods of any class, just declare a reference to that class, to that object. Create reference to that object, something like this. So s1 is a reference here. And now when you say reference dot, that class, reference dot that on that, otherwise when you apply dot on that reference, right, you can see all the list of methods, these are which are present in that class. Okay, so here I think there are so many methods, almost I can see at least some 30 methods, near to 20 to 30 methods, but I'll cover which are very useful to us, whatever that is needed. I'll cover all that. Okay, which are not, I'll just leave it like that. You got it right. So let's see all those things and we'll apply few use cases on these methods. First, we understand each method clearly. Later on, we take some use cases. I think already I have got some beautiful use cases for you. Maybe if you can apply those use cases, definitely you get a bigger picture on all these methods. Okay, right? I hope you got a clear idea here how to look for methods of any class present in Python, right? Just use that reference and on that reference just apply dot and you can see all methods that are present in that class. Hope this is clear for all of you. Okay. Now these are all methods. What I do is I'll pick up important index. Already I had discussed. If you see here yesterday we had a discussion on index and find. Still I'll just have a quick discussion on each method here. Okay. So let's start with one by one all this and see. I'll try to cover as many as possible. Okay, as many as possible that is needed here. Next one, first thing, let us start with index. What is index method? We know very well what is the purpose of index. Index method returns. So it returns a index of a character, index of a character present in a string. Okay, whichever character we pass, it returns index of that character. And if that index, I mean, if that character doesn't exist, might be it will return none. We'll check on that now quickly. Suppose you see here, I want to find index of A. I don't know anything about this. You know, right? If it is a string yesterday, I forget to just quickly inform this. When you declare a string, any string, I'm using Notepad to quickly show you. Right here, we are declaring string s1 equal to apple. And for this, you have some indexing, isn't it? What is that? It starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You have a positive or forward indexing. Similarly, you have a negative indexing as well. For our convenience, sorry friends, I think I am having a bit of cold today. Excuse me. So this is -5, -4 after that, -3 after that, -2 after that, -1. This is how negative indexing would be. You got it right. It starts with -n. Simply speaking, you can simply remember like this. If the size of string is n, then negative index starts with -1 to -1. Okay, positive indexing starts with the 0 to and that size -1 or n-1, you can say something like n-1. You got it right. This is how both forward indexing and backward indexing is assigned to a string in Python. You got it right. This is how positive indexing and negative indexing is assigned in Python. This is something universal. Okay. This is the simple idea, friends. So what do we do right now? I hope you are very clear on the indexing part. Now what do we do? Now I want to get index of A. In this example, if you look at index, the index of A is 0 or -5, right? And by default, which index is returned to us? It does these methods return a positive index or a negative index is the quick question. Which index is returned by default? A positive index or a negative index? Right here, maybe you can check. It returns by default a positive index. See here, I'm just printing it directly. But if it is a development, so what happens is in a development, we don't just print it. We assign our result to some variable. Okay, here as we are testing each method, I'm printing it directly. Okay, so s1 dot index of A. Here you can simply say the index is something like okay, and then you can put a placeholder. Maybe I'll explain this also about this also into maybe if right in today's session if possible or else tomorrow at least if not today. And then simply use format and then what is that? That's all. I think it's perfectly formatted. Yeah, I think we passed this, closed it, and then for yeah, I should close one more bracket. Yeah, that's all, friends. So now run this quickly. Run it quickly. Now you can see index is 0. And here, when we say index of A, by default, is it returning a positive index or a negative index? It returns a positive index here. Okay. And anyhow, if you want to apply negative indexing, you know how to apply it. That's fine. This is the idea, friend. Suppose I give capital A here, and this character is not present in the string here. This is not present in the string. Now what happens? Definitely it won't return any index. It is not going to return any index. But what it returns, let us see that. Now you can see this is what we very important. We get something called value error. What is that we get? You see, what happens with index method is if 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 the character which we are passing, if that character doesn't exist, then what happens? If this character doesn't exist in a string, then it returns this error. Remember this. It returns a value error. Understood, friends? Okay, that is the idea. So Bala is able to join. Fine, no problem. No problem, Bala. Fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next one after this. Maybe now you can apply the same for find method. Find and index are almost similar. Find and index methods are almost similar. Difference is find method doesn't throw. See, this is what happens. You just apply find. Okay. Now if I apply find here, you pass this a for both methods. Pass this character a for index as well as for find method. Let us see the output here. Let right click and run this. Now you can see both are working fine. Here in this case, if that character is present in the string, it's working perfectly fine. Suppose let's test another use case, another scenario. This is test case 1. We are applying what is that? This is how test cases are created by testers for different testing scenarios. What is a test case 2? What they do is they create one more scenario by passing uppercase A, and they check if this works or not. See here, test case 2. I am passing capital A, capital A. Okay, definitely index has an error. We have tested that scenario. But how about find method? I'll do one thing. I'll add find first so that we don't have any this thing issue with the execution. Now, in this case, this uppercase A is character. This character is not present in the string S1. But still, find method doesn't throw any error, just returns an empty string. Let's run this and see here. You can see here what happened. You see, not empty string, friends. It is giving you a negative index. When we say -1, -1 means it's returning -1. That indicates that existing character or the character you are passing is not present in the string. That is what meaning of this negative index here. If it returns -1, the character which we are passing to find method is not present in that string. That is the idea. Got it, friends? Next one. But if you look at the same scenario with index method, it's throwing error. That is difference between find and index. Okay, if you ask me what is difference between find and index, this should be very clear for you, friends. Okay, we are done with what is find, what is index. Okay, quickly we can discuss and print something. But if you want to have a very detailed discussion and a clear difference between why we are using find and why we are using index, then in such case, what is that? This is a clear difference between find and index. And one more we have seen yesterday. Also, if you want to check multiple occurrences of some index, definitely find method is the best fit for that. Okay, that we tried to check with that yesterday. Find is best fit if you want to look for multiple occurrences of a character. I told, I think, string. Sorry, multiple occurrences of a character in a string. If you want to check that, if you want to see the first occurrence or second occurrence or third occurrence of a character, then in such case, find is best fit than index. That is difference between these two, friends. Okay. These methods are very useful, trust me, because I told you clearly, I keep using these methods whenever I am playing with this data. Okay, when I filter data, sometimes I need to apply index or find and get the index, and based on that, I should dynamically extract some slices of string and do some validations. That is the scenario. Got it, right? So this is very much necessary for you. So I'm taking time to clearly explain to you. Next one. What is it? Next one is a print. What is the let's try S1 dot. Find is okay. Format. See, what is this format method? Today I'll try to give a very detailed this thing on this format. Okay. Maybe if you have missed it in the very beginning sessions, how to use format method in this print. Format is something which is present in a string class to format data, to print data according to certain format. Okay, that is what this format method is. Okay, you can see here the description here returns a formatted version of a string using some substitutions from args and quags. And the substitutions are identified with this braces. Let me show you that. Already we are using it. Some of you also asked me a few questions like, okay, so suppose I want to print some values A and B are 10 and 20. So the values are, I'm directly printing here, friends, not using any variables, just to show you values of some placeholder and placeholder R. Okay. If I am using two placeholders, means I should pass two values to this format method. And this is not just enough. On this string, I should say dot. Okay, remove this S1 here. Don't apply S1. You can directly say on this total string, this control string, which we pass to the print statement, on that set, just say dot here. Okay. When you say dot here, then what happens? We can apply format directly. Now, what is that we should do here? I should pass two values to fill in these placeholders. The first value is placed into first placeholder. Second value is substituted in the into the second placeholder. Likewise, you can play with this format method however you want, in whichever way we want. Depends on your necessity. You got it right. This is quick idea. Run this. You can see now. Now I think we let us just in this test case 2 we can close it, because I just only show you. I just want you to test it in with the different values and understand the difference between all this each method. Now run this. You can see here the values of so I think this doesn't make sense. The values are simply okay. Just print it now. 10 and 20. This makes sense. Okay, next method. I think we had discussed about format method here. Another method. Next one after format is print. What is that next one? You can also test this code along with me. You have sufficient time to apply what we are doing here in our discussion. It's okay. Try to test it along with me. That helps you to understand better with all these methods. Next one. S1 dot again. I want to see. So upper, this format is done, then upper one. We'll discuss almost all important. If something is not needed, I'll just skip it. And after certain time, I'll just make it little fast here because it takes so much of time to cover all this. Okay. So what do we do right now? So S1 dot. What else? This one. Upper. Upper means converts to uppercase. This is not a big scenario. We can just quickly jump through this. Okay. I'm not adding any comment also. Let's quickly jump over this so that you can see here, just converted the apple to the upper. There is one more method like this. What is it? Opposite upper is lower. Directly upper like, okay. The decoration part we'll look at it later. First, let us quickly understand all these methods and let's go for applying these methods by taking example scenarios. See, again, we converted back the string to to lowercase, that apple to lowercase. Next one after that. So this doesn't need much explanation. They are self-explainable, self-descriptive. Next one, print S1 dot. Okay, right. Uh, Let me just say S1 dot. Oh, upper is over, lower is over. Split. This is very important method, friends. Let me take a scenario. Let me take a big string. I'll do one thing. I'll take this string from yesterday's session. What is that? This one. Let us take this. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, let's take this string. Okay. Let's do it now. Copy this. Come here. Use the string here. Let's apply slicing on this. This is very useful scenario again. Slaps, even split is very much used in your day-to-day development. Got it right? So how to apply split? Simple. So here, what is the delimiter in this is space. The delimiter in the string is space. So you simply say sentence dot. I want to apply split on this string by using delimiter space. Okay, this is fine. Now what happens? And see, we applying split is simple. Simply I can say split of some space here, just a space as a delimiter. And also we can pass many other delimiters depends on what your string is having internally. Maybe your string is delimited by comma. Maybe your string is delimited by hash or some other special symbols, dollar sometimes. So if your string is delimited with different delimiters, that you have to pass in these double quotes. For now, this is space. Suppose if all this, I mean, internal words are, I mean, delimited by comma like this, just showing you. Then here you have to pass sorry friends, you have to pass comma as delimiter. Don't pass space if you have a delimiter. But if you have mixed means, it won't work. Either it should be all delimiters should have same this thing. It should have a common delimiter, not like for some words it has space, for some words it has comma. That it won't work. You got it right. The real again, of course, in a real scenario, by default it will be spaces or comma or dollar separated or hash separated, something like that. You got it right. And now what is that you do? So I'm just removing a comma and then passing space as a delimiter because this string is delimited by space here. Now after that, next thing is what split method does here. That is the important thing. Let me add some comments here. Split method splits string into words, and what it does after that, these words are assigned to or stored into this. These words are stored into list and returns that list. This is what happens. Okay, returns a list here. Like how, like this, for example, it creates a list of values like this. So this string is split by this delimiter, and all that tokens are included, are added, are stored into this list here. Okay, let me show you how they are stored. The first one, the. This is one word. Second one, the quick, something like this. Again, one more string. So all this, the whole sentence is split into strings, and those strings are stored into list like this. You got it right? Dot dot dot. Just putting dot, so that you also get a clear idea about split function. Now means what? Split returns a list here. Of course, you can ask me because we are very new to this. How do I know? If you don't know, simple trick here, simple tip or trick. Put your cursor on split. Okay, and see here. This is your definition of split implemented by someone. This is return type. Arrow mark something is a return type. And looking at this, you can conclude if this method is returning something or not. If you see here, this is returning a list. And that means what? If it is returning list, your responsibility is assigning this result to some, of course, this is some word underscore list equal to, okay, let me put properly. Yeah, list equal to, then assign that split function to this variable. Got it right? You should assign this method to some variable here. I'm assigning to word list. Now what? Now if I want to see that result, that is what we get from by applying split, then just print it. Now you can print it directly. Print, okay, in brackets, what you can do, word list. Right click and then run this. Now you can see all the whole string or that sentence, whatever we have here, it is split into tokens or words, and those words are again stored into a list, each separated by that space. You can see here. Now each substring here became a word here. You can see here. Each substring here in this string became a string here. Now this is one string, this is one string, this is one string, this is one string, like that. You got it right. So now suppose you ask me a question. I want to print these because you already know we had discussed about for loop and different ways to play with for. Print these words word by word here. Word by word. There is actually a big data that map reducer some program. People first teaches all these kind of scenarios only. How to put how to get something word by word or something. But in Python, it is a simple scenario. Apply split and get a list like this. Now I am just iterating this list. Iteration is simple. How we iterate this string here, we can iterate this string. I'll come up with more scenarios on string as well. Now what is that? For I in, otherwise put word here. Give meaningful dummy variable names as well. Some for word in word list colon print of word here. This is actually one interview scenario. They give a string like this, ask you to split and print word by word here. And on this, they ask multiple scenarios. So sometimes, even if you are experienced and you are attending a Python interview or some analytical interview or data science, because people ask more on Python only. And this is one important use case. Okay. People ask more in the interviews. I'm just giving you a tip for to note it. Okay. Finally, run this now. Now you can see here. You got output word by word here because for is something which works on what a collection. I had discussed this clearly, and even you can pass a string and get character by character. I think we need to add to focus more on programming part. We'll come to that. We don't just easily leave anything like that. So this is a very useful scenario. Of course, you can also test all this one by one. I'm sharing you in the chat box. Okay. Please use this code if you want and test that code. Got it right? Final. Okay, friends. Suri has some question or what? Suri, do you want to ask any question? I think I say your hand is raised there. Okay, if you don't have a question, I'll continue. Okay. You are seeing my screen, everything right? No issues, right? Fine. So you can test this code. Do you want a minute or two to test this code? Please just answer in chat box yes, no, or something. That would help me quickly conclude. Do you want a minute or two? Why find method taken -1? So that's how the algorithm is created, Suri. See, we implement methods and logic. Okay. Suppose if nothing is found, the algorithm should return -1. That is the use case they have built in. You got it right? Okay, fine. I think I got okay from you. Thank you. And do you want to test this code, all of you? Want a minute or two to test all this? Fine. Just please answer in chat box. That would help me. If it is done, then that's excellent. No issues. Next one. Let me jump to the next use case. So what is that? Print of s1 dot. I think split is something which has a little weightage here compared to other methods because other methods are simple. Now next one, center or just ljust. You know, trust me, I played with all these methods a lot in that hacker rank. I'll show you scenarios for you. Okay, every day at least I spend some half an hour or 1 hour to improve my ranking. So I'll show you. I did all this to make sure you also get some experience out of that. See, this scenario is there, right? So they asked us to build this, not this one, friends, not this one. Sorry, I'll cut this one. This one you can see here. This some kind of H. So they gave a code like this. Let me show you. This is the code. This L just all this R just center. This is filled by me. Okay, I filled all this. He got it right. But they just gave blank, just dot, and ask it to fill in which is the right method to get this format. They gave a partial code. I'm just giving you a simple use case so that you get a more interest and you will be more curious about these methods. Okay. Earlier, in my project, even I didn't use much of this. But after doing this program, I found the importance of these three methods: LGest, left adjustment, center, right adjustment. That is the meaning of that. That adjustment, you can fill it with either hyphen, underscore, hash, dollar, whichever you want. You can just need to place something here. You got it right. So let's apply this. You can take any scenario here. I'm not promoting HackerRank, friends. I'm only giving you my experience so that it helps you. That's all. Right. Next one. Take anything of your choice. If not HackerRank, we can take Gnome Tech. No problem. Some S2 equal to take Gnome Tech. Okay. Then let's apply these methods on S2. What is that? LGest, RGest, and center, all that. Let's apply that. Okay. Simple, friends. If I say print of S2 dot LGest, now here we need to pass two things here, two parameters. One, the first parameter is width here. So let me explain this method first. What is that I should pass to LGest method? Okay. LGest or RGest or center, any of these methods takes how many methods? Takes two parameters. I'm explaining each method here with comments. Okay. One is width. Second one, that character which you want to fill in. Okay. So that is the quick idea. Fine. After this, what is that I should do? Suppose I am applying LGest for Gnome Tech. Then what is that width? Give 10. Comma. Which character I want to fill in? You can apply hyphen or you can apply dollar. You can apply some underscore or at the rate. It's up to you. I'll put at the rate. Okay, now test it quickly. What LGest does now? If you look at output, you can easily understand what it is doing, friends. Let's apply this. You can see here Gnome Tech and then 1, 2, 3, 4. It is filling. So means what the width of the string we are making it 10, and actually it is having 8 characters here. Remaining 2 characters are filled by this LGest, means left adjustment. Means when you say left adjustment, your string will be placed at left side and adjustment will be placed at right side. Suppose you put 20 here. 20 means 20 your string length of your string is 8 characters, and then adjustment remaining 12 are adjusted with this at the rate symbol. Remaining 12 places. Okay, let's test it. Now you see here, if you just count, we have 20 characters here, and definitely this at the rate will be occupying 12 characters. Total, we have a width of 20 characters here. What happens apart from that 8 characters remaining are L adjusted, left adjusted with this special symbol, fill char. You can see here, it's very clearly mentioning with a fill character. And that character is at the rate here. Interesting, right? Next one. Suppose R just means same thing. But this time what? It flips, that's all. Suppose you just apply S2 dot R just. Then what happens? You need to understand all these, friends. What is the length of string? How much filling it is doing? Because when you are implementing some logic, understanding that difference is also very important. If you see here, I'll show after this. Let me give a clear idea. Right now, run this now. This time, RGest with RGest. See here, this adjustment fill character happened at the which side? At left side, because your string is adjusted at right and fill character is applied at the left. Now similarly, one more. See here. Now one more. Same thing. Just apply center. Here it looks very easy. When you look at these methods and when you apply this, it seems to very easy. So where it comes now? This comes in the center. This string Gnome Tech comes in the center, and 6 will be placed at left side. Six fill chars will be placed at right side. That's how it is adjusted. Okay, run this now. Now you see that you can count that exactly how 6 at left and 6 at right. Because I am very much sure I almost spent so much of time on this solving this use case. Which use case? This use case. See here, when you look at the code, it looks very not this code actually. I put a solution and added. See, this is the one, right? To solve this, at least it took some time for me because we need to do a lot of analysis and then we have to add which methods we should apply. Okay, that's the idea, friends. And even that hacker rank doesn't accept. Even if you try to almost near solution, also it won't accept. It expects exactly perfect solution. Also, it will do testing with some 6 or 7 use cases. Trust me. And all the test cases should be satisfied. Then only your problem will be submitted. That's how it works. My suggestion is, if you have time, go and just solve there. Your thinking improves. That's it, friends. Next one. This is the idea about this one. Okay, about different types of adjustments in with a string. Next one. So what else? S2 dot. We can play with few more. Count. This is very important, friends. Even today I use this count scenario. Okay. Or yesterday I think I used count scenario. Count. What count does? Very simple. Count means what we think is, we think count returns length of string. This doesn't give length of string. This gives you occurrence of a string. What it does, count does. I'm just giving you a clear picture here. Count. What it does, gives returns number of occurrences of. I'm clearly writing here so that you don't miss anything. Occurrences of what? Of a character. Even a one character is also a substring here. Okay, of a character, or it can be a substring some. Even it can be a substring. I'll show you multiple scenarios, multiple test cases, so that you get a clear idea. So suppose I want to get count of what is that, applying on sentence here. Okay, sentence might have a repetitive occurrences of some characters here. You can see here T seems to be repeated multiple times here. So let's pass C here. See here, pass T, then print it. Then how many our occurrences this T character T has, count method returns the count of that occurrences. Okay, what you do is now print it and then run this. Now you get that. You can see T is occurred only for one time. I see. Okay, this is a capital one. See here. Then okay, it's fine, no problem. Then which else is occurring multiple times? R occurs 2 times here. So let's pass R. Okay, R. Run this now. See. Okay, I'm applying on see on S2. If I apply on S2, how it works? I should apply on sentence. Okay, sorry. I think I was thinking it S2 for sentence. Now I think we are good. See, R occurred for 2 times. Else, otherwise, you do one thing to get the count, take S3, say something like ABC, BBC, ABC, okay, some CBC, something or something like that. Now, this should work very well for us. Okay, suppose this is just pass here instead of that. This is you test case 2. Assume this as test case 2. Now you pass A here. I want number of occurrences of A in which one, not in sentence. Let me correct this time properly. S3. See, run this now. You got A is number of occurrences of A is 2. Perfect. Then give B here. Okay. 6 occurrences of B is there. Wow. Next one. Suppose I want occurrences of what? Another substring. This is one test case. Checking for one character, how many times it is occurring. Suppose I want to check for a substring, how many times it is occurring. AB, you can see AB is occurring for quite few times. Okay, let's run this, test it. This is test case 2. You can see AB is occurring. The substring is occurring for 2 times. Likewise, this kind of scenarios helps you to do that. I'll get that a scenario use case to see, like, how many times a word is repeated in a big paragraph, something like that. Count helps you a lot in these kind of scenarios. Okay, right? So that's the idea, friends. Maybe you can also test these use cases. I'll just share you in the chat box before I proceed further. Please test it. This helps you. And one more small quick update to you is, friends, these are all volunteering sessions. Please, you can share it with your friends if they can also join. Just take this message to your known people and anyone who thinks they need a proper training in Python. Okay, maybe in future we might plan some cloud sessions, all that. But as of now, we are focusing on train Python because no doubt this is most happening in the industry. And nowadays, most of the companies are after automations. They are eliminating manual process. They are adopting something called automations that is usually implemented with Python. Right? Most of the MNCs are in this streak of automations. So my humble request to you is I am not doing just for anything. Only I have an interest and passion to teach something, so I am doing this. So and training will be very rigorous. If you are okay and if you want to if you are ready to work, I can also give you so many tasks and you can work on them. Okay. So fine. That's a quick update. I am jumping to the discussion now. This is the idea, friends, about count. Suppose there is a big paragraph. There is a concept called like usually in Google or something this scenario I'm giving you a use case for you how this count can be helpful for is so suppose if you want to find maximum searches of some find max searches of some celebrity, this is a small scenario how count can be helpful for you of some celebrity name. So then in that how people find that particular thing, you have a very long list of that such data. These people what they do is they apply this count on that. Suppose you have we can create a such thing here. Okay, I'll maybe you can create a small paragraph here. So who who is Ranveer? This is one scenario, right? Or is Ranveer beauty, handsome, something like this. Okay, people just searches like this, right? So now you need to find from all this how many times this Ranveer is occurring. Okay, based on that you give ranking to that word. This is a beautiful scenario. This is dynamically created by us itself. You take this Ranveer is Ranveer handsome, and one more thing people always search is what is in internet. This is the right how it works. What is a cast of Ranbir? This is something quite common people search when they are in the internet. Okay, so this kind similarly same thing happens to some lady. Suppose Deepika. Let's take Deepika. Who is Deepika? Which state Deepika belongs to? Something like this. Okay. So is Deepika married? Is the handsome? What is the another question? Maybe curious question is Deepika married? So like this, there will be a lot of searches, like thousands or lakhs of searches on with Deepika's name, and similarly with Ranveer's name, similarly with Mahesh Babu name, similarly with Pawan Kalyan name, like that. So point is now what you have to do, you have to take this paragraph, you split this data, do something, and then iterate it and find count of all that. You got it right. And finally give ranking. What is that you should do? So first find the count of all these celebrities, count of all celebrities. Suppose, okay, I'm just giving you a scenario. If possible, try to implement it. This gives, or else I'll help you to implement this scenario. Okay, count of all celebrities and give ranking. Give ranking means whoever comes with maximum number of counts, they should be given one, next two, next three, next four, like that. Give ranking. This is a very useful scenario. If you can implement this scenario, add some more searches, add some more celebrities list here or some items list. Okay, if you can solve this, this itself is a practical problem which helps you to apply many things what we have learned here. Okay, that's the idea, friends. So that ranking can be like this also. Suppose Ranveer, suppose maximum number of such we have for Ranveer. I am not a Ranveer fan, just only giving you a scenario, friends. Okay. So suppose he has 100 in this data. I'm just limited data. Assume that we have 100 touches. Next. So then he should be given one. After that, Deepika. Deepika has some 99. Then Deepika should be given a rank of 2 here. So this is how you have to play with data, and this is how you have to give this validation analysis. You should there is a data analysis here. At the same time, you are applying a validation here. At the same time, you are finding out what is that stats here. You are giving a stats here. Who is the ranking number one here, ranking number two, number three, all these scenarios. Okay. This needs use lot of concepts here. It needs list here, it needs string here, it needs so many things. Okay, but remember this. This is the simple use case. We'll solve it. Now get to the next scenario. What is it? S1 dot, another method. I'm just using reference to see methods here. We finished all this, and maybe you can capitalize. Just what it does is we have already applied upper and lower, right? Capitalize is similar to this one only. Let's just see how it works. Maybe it capitalizes lowercase to uppercase and uppercase to lowercase, I believe. Let me test it. Let me take a small this thing RS4 equal to, I'll take banana B capital and then NA. N I put capital just for testing purpose and remaining lowercase. So I just pass S4 dot capitalize, and then what I do is I just print it. I didn't use much of capitalized friends. Upper and lower, at least I tried a couple of times. Okay. So we can test it on fly here. You can see, right? What's happening here? B is as is, but N has been converted to lowercase here. Just put your cursor here. What it does, make first character have uppercase and rest lowercase. You got it right? Suppose by this you can clearly understand what this does is adding that statement makes first character. Capitalize means just make your first character uppercase. First character in a string. Maybe in a string uppercase as capital letter otherwise. So this is one thing. Next one, you can see here. Suppose you put small b here. It converts that only that first character to uppercase, rest of the strings to lowercase, and other characters to what it does, lowercase. Okay. And just one more point is, just learning these methods is not enough. What is important? Applying this in some use case is important. We'll bring all that, okay, one by one. We'll also try to solve this. I'll come up with more data, add more data, and apply multiple scenarios. It will be a kind of small POC for you. Okay, proof of concept. Next one. After that, S4 dot, what else should we? Capitalize is fine, count is fine, all that is fine, center is fine. Case fold you can ignore. Encode you can ignore. Ends with, starts with, there are scenarios. Maybe if you want, you can play with that. Ends with means something like this. Okay, I put a string here S5 equal to, okay, something like, let's take, who else? Liam Neeson. NEASWAM. Something Liam Neeson, you know, right? Hollywood actor. Okay, spelling you can ignore, friends. So I want second ends with something. I need second word here. Suppose I want to check if a string ends with some string here. Just you need to pass that here. Okay. If this string ends with Neeson, then what? It returns true, else it returns false. That's all. This is a simple one. Just checks if a string ends with what you are passing here. This is also very much useful for a large string searches. Okay. If you want to do a search on some strings on a large data. So it's saying false. Maybe I passed something wrong here. NEASON. Why it ends with Neeson is fine, but of course it won't work, right? Again, I should pass S5 here, not S4. Okay, I corrected that. Now test this now. Now you can see here, this is true because this string ends with Neeson. Similarly, you can try one more. Quickly test on this. Okay, what is that? You can apply starts with again, similar to that. Definitely, this string doesn't start with Neeson, it starts with Liam. Then it returns false. Just these methods returns Boolean values. If the word you are passing here is matching, returns true, else it returns false. That's all. Nothing harm happens here. Okay. So test it now. You get one true and one false here. That's all. That's about starts with, ends with. Another use case is these methods are very, very important. What is that? Upper lower is fine. Suppose you have a string S6 equal to what is that in double quotes ABC. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this is alphanumeric. So I want to check, right? I want to check what is the nature of this string. Is it alphanumeric? Is it only alphabet string, alpha string, or is it only numeric string? I want to check all these things here. Okay. I want to check on multiple scenarios. Let's apply this S6 dot. So is all num. All num means alphanumeric. That is the meaning of that. Okay. So what is by looking at that, you can easily say, what is it, friends? That string is very sure. We are very sure this is alphanumeric. This returns true. Okay. What it returns? It returns true. Just right click and test it. You can the last one you check for last one. Ignore about other outputs which we have in the previous test cases. Okay. So what happened? True. Next one again. What? Sorry, friends. Again, I'm just taking one more. What is that? Is digit. I'm just applying S6 dot is. There is a method. D. Where is it? Otherwise, you can see here is digit. Okay. Then obviously this method is not a numeric string. Sorry, this string is not a numeric string. Then this is false. This should get false for us. Okay, next I'll add my answers. Maybe if anything is there, we correct it. No problem. No harm comes with that. Next after that, S6 dot is alpha. Is alpha. Okay. Is alpha means is it a pure all character string? Means does it have all alphabets? What is your answer? False. Next one after that. S6 dot again. I'm just going little fast. Okay, because we have so many to cover. These are something really useful. Is lower. Definitely. This is also. This is lower, right? This is true. Now this should be true. Okay. And one more is upper. We can also apply is upper. One more scenario. Just add it. And then this is not upper. So we get it as a false here. Now right click, test it. See, if our answers are first one should it's starting from here. I think yeah. So true, false, false, true, false. Perfect. Our analysis is perfectly correct. Right? This is how these methods are handy for us to see the nature of a string. Is it alphanumeric or is it digit? Is it alpha or is it lower? Is it upper? Got it right, friends? So I think we covered many methods today. Probably few more important methods are there. I'll cover it up tomorrow. And then later on, I'll take some programs and apply all this. I just don't leave it like that. Okay. We'll start doing programming because that is important, that building that POCs, programs, applying this in some use cases or problems is very important. Okay. And then is ASCII, this is not ASCII, is decimal. Okay. Is numeric, is digit is different, is space, join. This is very important method. L strip, right? R strip also helps in sometimes. Okay. Remove prefix, suffix, I didn't apply. Replace also should work for you. R split, I didn't try with the R scenarios, R split, R partition, all this. The split lines, all this, I didn't try this. Maybe tomorrow we can check on fly, okay? But which is important among all this? Join shall be very, very important one. Tomorrow we'll talk about it because we are already 10:30 today. I'm fine. but not sure about you. Okay, right? So hope you had a detailed discussion on all these methods. I'll just share the code with you. Join, definitely. I'll try to. We have so many use cases. We work on them so that you understand the importance of all this. Tomorrow, definitely, you are going. See, the sessions are what is that? We are all this is aimed at making sure that you become hands-on. That's all. Not like no, I don't want to waste your time, not my time. First thing. Okay. So only thing is, if you try to make sure come with that curiosity, interest, and learning fire. If you don't understand, ask me. Or if you need help, ask me. But make sure when you are going from here, you learn something and go with lot of confidence. That is my humble request to all of you. I don't need anything. Okay. That's all, friends. We'll stop here. Okay. Cash back you and please share this good work with your friends or anyone who is interested, which helps others. It's not like I want to do something. You are enough for me to complete all these sessions and course as well. But this helps someone outside. The content is not covered outside in this way. Trust me. Okay. And we are not definitely, if you have patience